Okay. So Dalet Amud Beis, and the Mishnah had spoken about the Nazir Shimshon and Nazir Olam. Nazir Shimshon means, did I do that again? Okay. And Nazir Shimshon and Nazir Olam, both of them are for the whole life. But the Nazir Shimshon, the Mishnah said that he's allowed, according to after the Gemara finishes off, he's allowed to be Tamei Lameis, and there's no head of hair cutting his hair at all. But in Nazir Olam, he has the regular dinim of Tumas Meis, but he could when it gets heavy, then he's allowed to lighten the load with a bitar, with a razor. It's like not a regular haircut, just to lighten it coarsely.
And how do you know?
How do you know what?
How much to take off the?
That's going to be the Gemara now. What's called that it's too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So here the Gemara starts on the bottom. The first white line, Nazir Olam. Nazir Olam Hechiksiv. Where is such thing as a Nazir Olam? Where do you see such a concept of Nazir Olam and the whole heter of cutting his hair? The Tanya Rabbi Yom Avshalom Nazir Olam Haya. So it's very interesting. Avshalom has said that he had his hair growing long. It's very beautiful, but it doesn't say openly that he's a Nazir. It doesn't say openly that he was a Nazir. That doesn't say the reason that's why he let his hair grow. But Rabbi says that he was a Nazir Olam. That over there he said there was a nether. The nether we're going to say means that it was a Nazirus. And over there the whole story is that Avshalom had killed Amnon, and then he had to run away because David was very upset that he had killed his brother, of course. And over there, at the end, Yoav got the king David to agree that he should come back, and he got him back to come back. First, he didn't let him to see the king, and then afterwards he was able to what?
Where the arrow is, that's the end of the pasuk.
Right. So the pasuk says that at the end of 40 years, which the Gemara is going to talk about what does 40 years mean. It doesn't mean 40 years of that story. So that needs explanation. We'll put in parentheses meanwhile. What does it mean 40 years? Avshalom said to the king, let me go and pay my nether that I had sworn to Hashem in Hebron. And over there, that's the story when he made the rebellion. That's when he went to make the rebellion. But it does say that he had used to cut his hair. This is Rabbi talking. Rabbi says that Avshalom was a Nazir Olam, and it brings the pasuk at this point about he made the nether, and the more dashing it means he had made a nether of Nazirus. And the halacha is that you see that he was allowed to cut his hair every 12 months. Why? By him, he would cut his hair. That's the pasuk over there.
Once in every 12.
Every 12 months. He would cut his hair. That has the psukim. This film seems to have the psukim. I think is that true? Yeah, here it brings the psukim. Here it says, I don't have to put on Vahim Miketz Abayim Shana Vayim Avshalom Melech El Chana Vashalem Nidri Hashem Natati L'Hashem B'Chavron. That we have the whole pasuk. That's in Perek Tezvav pasuk Zayin. Here it says earlier in Perek Yudalid pasuk Chavav. Over there it says Uvagalcholas Rosho when he would cut his hair. Avshalom Vayim Miketz Yomim Vayomim Asher Yigalech. Every end of Yomim Liyomim. That we're going to see what that means. What does it mean at the end of a period called Miketz Yomim Liyomim? That he would cut his hair, Kichaved Allah, because it was very heavy. Bigilcho, he would take off to cut the hair. It says how much hair he had cut off. It doesn't say that he's a Nazir. It doesn't say that's the reason why he was cutting his hair. But the Gemara is mentioning he was a Nazir. It was a Nazir, and he still will cut his hair every Yomim. So the Gemara is mentioning now what does it mean?
200 shkalim was the weight of his hair.
Right.
Yeah, how many ounces?
Yeah, I don't know. It says also the weight is Even HaMelech, not a regular shekel, but Even HaMelech, a certain weight that I don't know if we can know what it is. But that was his hair of a year. Let's say we don't know. What is called?
Melech would be 1 shekel.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Whatever the Evan is.
Yeah, right. That's probably it was a certain weight of this. Royal weight. The royal weight. Now it doesn't say what it was a year, but the Gemara is mentioning that Echad l'Shnei Masach Chodesh because it says V'him Miketz Yomim Liyomim. This pasuk we don't say that means 12 months. How do you know? Up on the top. We don't exert a Shabbat that Yomim means a year. Over there by Bat Yerachom, if somebody sells a house in a walled city, so he has 1 year to buy it back. If he doesn't, then it gets mukhlat. It comes definite to the buyer and never goes back. Usually it always goes back in Yovel, but once Bat Yerachom is different than if he didn't buy it back within a year, so then it's mukhlat. That's misos. And over there it's a year. Over there it says Yomim, and there's a drush to learn out that over there it says Ad Malosno Shanat Mima. Over there it says openly that it's a year. So here also you learn out that it's a year, and therefore any Nazir that's going to be a Nazir Olam, like Avshalom, has 12 is allowed to cut his lighten his hair every 12 months. It doesn't say how much he has to cut off, how much he leaves. He's allowed to cut it. He does a sloppy job. He doesn't do, I think that's what he means by tar, that he doesn't do it the regular way with the scissors, whatever way, but a razor is not going to be a neat job. So the point is, but how often he's allowed to do it? Every 12 months. That's the first sheet that was Rabbi. Every 30 days. And he holds that Yomim is going to mean every 30 days. Every week. Every week he's allowed to take a haircut. What? So what's the Nazir about it? That he can't take a haircut in the middle of the week. Only once a week. That you see, that's considered the norm that the B'nai Malachim, Avshalom was a Ben Melech. So if he would cut his hair, so it means he would cut his hair like everybody else. He didn't go with a lot of hair, but it says openly over there that it was obviously over there. It says that he only cut it very seldom because his hair was so it wasn't so right. So and it says that it weighed 200 shekalim over there. So this wasn't. He's not coming to say Rabbi Yossi is the Chor not going to say that he learns it out from. Neither one of them is going to say. The one that's 30 days and the one that says Erev Shabbos is not going to say that was Avshalom. They're going to probably learn a different limud, I think, because you're not going to get so much hair in 30 days, and surely not in 1 week. But anyway, the Gemara goes back, yes.
The Malachim cut their hair, they trim their hair every day.
Here it says Erev Shabbos. A king is supposed to be every day, but here's
it's every day, and then we're saying the princes,
once a week.
Children,
right.
Once a week.
Right. So that's the end of the brisa. Till now is the brisa. The Gemara asked how do you know Nazir Olam. It brings us brisa that he learned out from Rabbi Shalom. And the Mishnah didn't tell us how often. It just says but the brisa already has 3 shittas if it's once 12 months or it's 30 days or it's every Erev Shabbos. My time, not a Gemara is taking over. My time with the Rabbi. Where does he get it from? Yalef mid Batei Orechoma. That's what it says in the top line. That he learns that from Batei Orechoma that it means a year. But the question is, Rabbi Yehuda Amar Ein Yamim Chusin Mishnayim. That which means 2 days. There's a place where Rabbi says that it means 2 days. That the word Yamim means 2 days. So here also maybe it means every 2 days.
Doesn't that mean Yamim is not less than 2 days? Isn't that
right? Then over there it's talking about even days, not only years. He's talking about days, and it says 2 days, not less than 2 days, plural, minimum of plural. And you're going to say that it means minimum of plural is going to be 2. But the Gemara is asking that how could Rabbi say that it means 12 months? It should mean 2 days. So the Gemara says, "Hi gzer shalva mishum kovet gomer over shnei yomim like a." I'm sorry about that. What do I have here? Over shnei yomim like a kovet. Here we're talking about that it should be the problem because it's too heavy. It says that Hichbit says that it was heavy, so you can't learn that here means 2 days because 2 days doesn't do anything. Maybe it means 2 years. So that's the pasuk Parshas Miketz. He just had it. So you see that the word Yomim sometimes is referring to Shnasayim. So here also maybe Avshalom would cut his hair every 2 years. Dan in Yomim Shein Behem Mishanim. This is the answer. Dan in Yomim Shein Behem Shanim. Yomim Shein Behem Shanim. Here it says Shnasayim Yomim. But we're looking for a regular place where it says Yomim alone. By Batei Rechom it says Yomim. It says Yomim Tegul so. It doesn't say anything else. Yomim Tegul so. So that's here also that it says that he would cut his hair miyamim liyamim. So to say over there shnasayim yamim, that's not the same. We have to find something equal. Maybe he should dash in 30 days. I'll find a place where it says yamim and it means 30 days. Another pasuk where it says the word yamim and it means over there a month of days. The answer is similar answer. Again, look for a word where it says yamim alone. Here it says chodesh yamim. Here it says shenasayim yamim. Here it says chodesh yamim. So that's not what we're looking for. If you would dash in the word yamim in any way, so one place it means 2 years, one place it means 30 days. But look for a place where it says the word yamim isolated. Isolated yamim, what does it mean? We only find by Batei Rechoma that it means 12 months. So therefore, there also is 12 months. So this pasuk is talking about by the daughter of Yiftach. He has a problem here also. Where do we have the psukim here? Oh, here. Here it's talking about number 4. Here it's talking about Yiftach's daughter that he made a neder that he'll give to Hashem. So over there it says that whatever was done, it doesn't say opening the pasuk what they did. Did he slaughter her? The Pasha says he didn't slaughter her. I don't know what the Pasha says, but some say that he slaughtered her, some say no, sure not. But she was like dedicated to Hashem, that she wouldn't have anything to do with people, she wouldn't get married. So over there it says, that every year, once a year, the girls would go to cry about the daughter of Yiftach 4 days a year. So here it says 4 days a year. So learn out that here also, when it says by Avshalom that he cut his hair, maybe it means like over here that it means 4 times a year. Who says why say 1 time? It's true that it means a year, but over there it says 4 times a year. That's the most kasha. The answer is done in yamim, done in yamim miyamima. That it's not exactly the same word. It does say yamim, but it also says yamima. So we're looking for a place where it says only yamim. So we found 3 other places. One is shenasayim yamim, one is chodesh yamim, one is yamim yamima. So those are not, they don't count. It has to be someplace where we find that it just says yamim. And that's by Batei Arachoma. Over there it says yamim teigula. So we learn out that Avshalom also once a year he would cut his hair. But the Gemara is not happy with this last answer. Yamim was close enough. What's the difference? If it's yamim or yamim, it's the same word. You don't have to have the exact same word. It just has to be the same idea. And this is a famous Tana de Rabbi Shmuel, the Shabbat Kohen, Uba Kohen. Over there it's talking about by Nega that he find in the house. Saras Abatim, Nege Batim. So over there it says that the Kohen should go, the Kohen should come, and the Gemara learns out a drash of what it's talking about. That is the same thing. The Shabbat Kohen, Uba Kohen, Zui Shiva, Zui Bia. It makes a comparison, the 2 words, as if it's the same thing, even though it says the Kohen should return, the Kohen should come, even though it's not exactly the same word, it's not the same translation. One means to return, one means to come, but you don't have to be so exact. As long as it has the same idea, you can make Xer Shav Limud, even if it's not the exact same word. So what's the problem? Learn out Yamim to Yamima. It doesn't have to be Dafka Yamim. Yamima is just as good. The Gemara says that's only if you have no other choice. It's only if there's no word which is more similar. So that which is more similar, then you can take even a word which is not exactly similar. You can learn out Bishov to Uba because both of them have the same idea, even though it's not the same word. And if you have something which is more similar, like here, if it wouldn't say Bati Arachoma, wouldn't say Yamim Tegula, so you're right, we'd be able to learn out from Yamima that it says by Yiftach that it means 4 times a year. But since you have 2 choices, one is Yamim, which is the exact same word, and one is Yamima, which is not the exact same word. So we learn from the word which is closer, and therefore you don't learn from Yamima, we learn out from Yamim that it's a year.
What was the kasha?
The kasha was learn out that it's 4 times a year.
Is Yamim was close enough?
Yamim was close enough. The answer is, but Yamim is even closer. So you don't learn Yamim if you can learn Yamim. First, Ika the Amri or Iboy Sema, another terrorist to this last kasha. Menaya Dinan Dechol Klasa Yarchin Chad Zimna means, what did the Gemara ask? Who says once a year, maybe 4 times a year? 4 times a year, if you take it that it would be equal intervals, you'd say every 3 months. 4 times a year would mean 3 months. But who says? It just says 4 times a year. It doesn't say every 3 months. How do you know that it was intervals of every 3 months? Maybe it just means 4 times a year, and it doesn't have to be dafka that it was every 3 months. And train Yarchin b'chazimna. Maybe these girls over there that they would go 4 times a year, they didn't go dafka the same intervals. Maybe they would go 4 months and then they would go after 2 months. It doesn't mean dafka that it was every 3 months, and they wouldn't be able to learn out what this is unknown, and the once a year is known. So we better learn out from the one which is known exact than the one that you don't have any way to prove how often is 4 times a year.
So from Arba, how does it go?
Arba
Yarchin.
Arba Yarchin b'chazimna. And train one time at one shot means they would wait 4 months and then they would go, and then another 2 months means to get, and then you can say again 4, 2, however you want to divide it. You could divide it 5 and 1 together sum total of 4 times a year.
Oh, I see. It
So
would have to be equal
intervals,
distance.
and you don't know that it's equal distance. You don't know once they get over there. So you have no right. The kasha was who says once a year, maybe 4 times a year, meaning every 3 months, maybe 3 months. It doesn't say that over there, so you don't know enough from that pasuk. So the pasuk is not informative. So we go back to the pasuk that it says, which says once a year, that it says Yamin Teigula. So that's how Rabbi learns out that Avshalom would cut his hair once a year, and that's why he learns out to the din of Nazir Olam. That was Rabbi. The Brisa continued with Rabbi Naharai. He says once every 30 days, and then there was Rabbi Yossi says Erev Shabbos. Rabbi Naharai Yomer. This is the Brisa continuing. Rabbi Naharai Yomer Megalech Achas L'Shloshim Yom. Where does he get it from? There were 3 shittas. Once a year, once a month, or once a week. So where does Rabbi Naharai get it from? My timer, because Gabi Kohanim Mishum the Ika Kovet, Hachanami Ika Kovet. A Kohen is supposed to cut his hair once every 30 days. It means a Kohen doesn't mean a Kohen. If he's doing the avoda, he's not allowed to come to the Beis Hamikdash Purei Rosh. A Kohen is not allowed to come into the Beis Hamikdash if his hair is growing long. What's called long? More than a 30-day growth. So just like by a Kohen, that's the halacha, so too over here. The Gemara doesn't go into how do you know that a Kohen is like that? That might make some complication. If we're showing him as a kasha, that Kohen might be a short circuit, might come back to a Nazir again. But how much is that? It's true that it says Purei Rosh, you're not allowed to be long hair, but how much is that long hair? Here the Gemara says it's for sure 30 days. Okay.
Well, why does it say COVID?
COVID means a heavy.
Right. So
the reason why the Kohen is not allowed to have long hair is because it's too much. It's too much hair.
it's too heavy.
It doesn't mean heavy physically. It means that it's too much hair. So we're letting out too much hair of the Kohen, of the Nazir, from Nazir Olam, from the too much hair of the Kohen. If the Kohen is considered over,
It doesn't mean that the Cohen's hair was so heavy.
it's not going to be. But it means that it's too
Because it
much
wasn't
hair.
going to get that heavy.
Right. It doesn't mean heavy like over there by Avshalom over there, but
It
it
just
means.
means it's unkempt.
Right,
or what?
that it's right. It's right. It's overgrown. The Kohen shouldn't be overgrown. So if by the Kohen, we're going to overgrown is 30 days. So we'll say that in the Nazir Olam
He's also
is going to be that he's appointed in the Nazir Olam.
the,
It's not a regular Nazir. Regular Nazir, whatever he says. Here we're talking about the Nazir Olam. He said I'm a Nazir Olam. So then he does have permission to cut his hair every certain interval. So the first Russia was from Avshalom. He's not these Russians are not going to say Avshalom. It's not going to be COVID. I don't think that's not the Pshat of Avshalom. He said that it's not going to be a weight of 200 Evan Amelech. But it means that that the Kohanim are not supposed to be overgrown. So too, that's the point of overgrown. And he says that the Nazir Olam is allowed to cut every 30 days. The third sheet was Rabbi Yossi, every Erev Shabbos. Rabbi Yossi Amar B'Galech, Erev Shabbos, Erev Shabbos. Now, how does he know that? The one doesn't say how he knows it. How does Rabbi Yossi know every Erev Shabbos?
It didn't say.
We said at the beginning, because the name Malachim.
Because B'nai Malachim, the Bryce itself says. The Bryce says because B'nai Malachim, not because it's a pasuk, not a halacha, just the king, we said, that Yaakov says every day. They're a king. But similar, now, I don't know if that means that Avshalom himself, is he going to learn us Pshat in Avshalom? Where's he getting to the B'nai Malachim? From Avshalom was holy. Yeah, but he didn't cut every 7 days. Then he wouldn't have had he wouldn't go to have long hair like that with 200 shekels. So I didn't see enough. But he says that that's called overgrown for a prince. That's called overgrown, and therefore we are going to learn that from Avshalom that the Nazir Olam is allowed to cut his hair once a week. So everybody cuts their hair once a week. So I think there may be different shatim over here, but what I think I saw that what's the difference between him and all the other brothers, his Jewish brothers? Everyone can take care. So he's a Nazir. Like, what's the big Nazir about him? You think everyone goes to the barber once a week, and that's also like people don't go once a week. But the Gemara is considering it that he should go once a week. Maybe I don't know if that's what the Gemara is saying. That the norm is to go Erev Shabbos. And so what's he Nazir about? The answer is Yom Tov Shechol Yos B'Emsa Shabbos. If Yom Tov comes out in the middle of the week, so everybody else takes haircut again. If Yom Tov comes out on Tuesday, so you take your haircut on Monday, because your last haircut was Friday, and it's already.
No,
so you come. I didn't know this. You come into Yom Tov perfect. It sounds like that a person who's not on Nazir, if he takes a haircut every year of Shabbos, and if Yom Tov comes out in the middle of the week, he takes another haircut in the middle of the week.
For Yom Tov. And he didn't.
And he's not allowed to. He's not allowed to. That this Nazir Olam is not allowed to. Everyone else is allowed to take a haircut on Yom Tov, and he's not allowed to. That's the Nazir Olam about him. Of course, he's not allowed to be Tommy Mason. He's not allowed to drink wine. But as far as the haircut, that's his haircut. Only Friday haircut. Yes.
Every week.
Every week you can take it like everybody else.
What kind of Nazirs is that?
That he can't take in the middle of the week. He can't take twice a
in the
week.
middle of the week when Yom Tov is
Because he's not like his brothers.
It's not like his brother.
Inami legaluchem in Safra the Mali Shapta is allowed to take a haircut Friday morning. They can take a haircut whenever they want to, so they can take it, but he's not allowed to. He's allowed to do it only towards the afternoon. He can't take a haircut until closer to Shabbos. That's going to be the whole Nazir Olam. So I have Machlokas 3 opinions, and that's finished. Finish the sugi. We have the Mishnah. The Mishnah says such thing as a Nazir Olam that Ich B'Tzar Mekel B'Tar. What's called Ich B'Tzar? It doesn't say in the Mishnah. The Brisa brings down that the source is from Avshalom, and over there you see it doesn't say openly he was a Nazir, but the Gemara is mentioning he was a Nazir. And how often did he cut his hair? So Rabbi says once every 12 months, and learns out the drasha from Yomim from Bati Yerachoma. Then there are 2 other shitas. Rabbi Norai says every 30 days, and he says That's what is learning out from? Where did Rabbi learn it from? Because the Kohanim, the ones every 30 days, and we weren't sure how to know the Kohanim. That the Gemara doesn't go into. And the third opinion was of Yossi that says every Erev Shabbos, and he says because that's the B'nai Malachim. B'nai Malachim take once a week, and the question is, everybody takes once a week. So two answers: other people could take more than once a week. For instance, Yom Tov comes out, or he's not only allowed to take once a week, Erev Shabbos afternoon. He's not allowed to take it in the morning.
Oh, Tzafra is
the morning, and
Tzafra
Panya,
Ramsha.
right. So here instead of Ramsha, it says Panya. But that's Tzafra and Panya.
No, but it's at Inami.
Another teretz, another difference.
Take it in the morning.
So you take it in the morning of Erev Shabbos.
And
Tzafra
his
the Mother
brothers-
Shabbos. Achui, Megalchen. Everyone else is allowed to take a haircut Erev Shabbos in the morning. But Iyu lo Megalech Panya. He can't take a haircut until the afternoon.
Panea.
Later, Panya.
Panea.
Tzafra and Panya. I don't know that I'm pronouncing it right, but that's how everybody says it. Tzafra and Panya.
Tzafra
Panya is
Ramsha.
afternoon,
What's
yeah.
Ramsha?
Ramsha is also evening. Tzafra and Ramsha, yeah. Okay, the little
Panya
parentheses. The
evening.
rest of the Gemara is a parentheses because we started the pasuk that's talk about that this thing with Avshalom happened 40 years. After 40 years, by him no. This is a side thing. Just to point out the pasuk. Vayihi. This is on the day on the pasuk before, on the page before. Vayihi. Nikates Abayim Shana. What's Abayim Shana? What's that Abayim Shana? That's the pasuk again we saw on the side over here. Vayihi. Where is that? Here it is.
Shmuel base, that was 15.
Right. What's 40 years? 40 years from what? So you need something to say over there. That what's not 40 years from the whole story? So what is the 40 years? What are these 40 years? It's 40 years since they asked the king for a king in the times of Shmuel. That it said there was a kind of an onus here that the whole Merida against Beis David happened 40 years from when they asked for a king. It wasn't a good thing to ask for a king. When Shmuel was a Navi, they shouldn't have asked for a king. Over there it says, no, Hashem said that they're despising Hashem besides the Navi. And that wasn't a good thing that they asked for the way they asked for it, why they asked for it. So 40 years later, there was a downfall in the kingship, and that's when Avshalom made the rebellion against his father. Tana, also Shana Sheshav ben Melech the year that they asked for a king was when Shmuel was his 10th year of being the Navi, being the leader.
Yes, that was by Shaul.
That's when Shaul was the first king. But they asked for Shmuel.
40 years.
Shmuel was the Navi. What's that?
It was 40 years from the time they asked for a king, by
right.
Shaul until Avshalom's rebellion.
Right.
We don't relate to David in that Heshbon.
Meaning?
No.
That he's not to blame, as opposed to
Wasn't it the first time they
He was-
asked for a king? Or-
because Shaul these Avshalom is from David Melech.
Yes. But it means the kingship. Probably means the kingship. I'm sorry?
It was 40 years from what?
From when they asked for a king. When Bnei Yisrael asked for a king for the first time. Shmuel was the Navi. You had Shoftim, and then you had Eli was the Kohen. At the beginning of Sefer Shmuel.
Yeah.
And Shmuel was the Navi, and he was the leader, and the king, and new people came over and they asked for a king.
Before Shaul.
Shaul was the result of that request. Shaul was he made the king because of their request. When they requested a king, Hashem
And
first
it
said
had
they
been
did.
40 years what?
What?
It had been 40 years.
Since then. And that's when
Since they asked for the king.
that's now the story of Avshalom rebelling against his father.
Thank you.
No Mishnah. Stam Nazir was Lamed Yom. If someone just says, Areni Nazir,
That's the shortest Mishnah we got. It seems like it, no?
it depends how you divide the Mishnahs, but
Well, the way it is now.
Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom. Okay, Mishnah is Baal Peh. Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom. So if someone says Areni Nazir, everyone they go Ben Bagbag, Ben Hey, Ben Ba. The phone Sarah argument, you got even shorter. Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom. And the Mishnah, I don't know how it's printed. Maybe it's printed longer. But if someone says Areni Nazir without accepting a certain amount of time, so it's for 30 days. He can say a different number. He can say a number how long he wants to be a Nazir. Not less than 30. But if he doesn't say a number, it's automatically 30. Nonani meaning, from where do you get this? That Stam Nazir says 30 days. So we're going to have Machlokas over here. It's going to be Rav Masna, and then 2 lines later, Rav Pada.
You're saying it cannot be shorter than 30?
Yes.
Stam.
From here, I don't know it. I think I remember from last time. So far, it doesn't say that. Here it just says Stam is 30 days. I said in parentheses, in a footnote, it can't be shorter than 30 days. someone
Even
came,
if he
even
can't
if
say,
he,
I'm going to be a Nazir for a week.
I think if he says he's a Nazir for a week or a day, he's a Nazir for 30 days.
Okay.
Maybe then he could go
Maybe.
and say, I didn't mean it. So I mean, maybe he'll show it on his, he got onto the wrong bus. You know, this is going much longer than he wants to go. But I think that there's no such thing as a Nazirus less than 30 days.
Okay.
So here the question is, what do you know this from? How do you know the Stam Nazirus is 30 days? So if Masna says, Amakra, Kadosh Yihiyeh, Kadosh Yihiyeh, Gavel Parasar Rosho, the Pasuk by Nazir says he should be holy. And the word Yihiyeh is Gematria 30. Yihiyeh, but Gematria 12 and Havu. A Yud is 10, a Hay is 5, 2 times that, 2 Yuds and 2 Hays, that's 30. So is this enough to learn out such halacha? So the Rishonim say that maybe it's a simon, maybe not, this is not the source, but maybe it's a smachta onto pasuk in the Torah. Unless you want to, because the Russia is, this is not the Yud Gimel Midah Shator in the Dresh's band. A gematria is like a remez; it's not going to be a source. But but if you see that this is a source, the Gemara is going to deal with it as if it's a source, as if it's saying everything. So Yihiyeh is gematria 30. That was Rav Masna. Bapada Amar Keneged Nazir and Israel and one Torah Shloshim Pasirachas. If you count up in the parasha of Nazirus, all the times that it says something with the shorish of Nazir, Nazir and Israel, Yazir, all the different words that are used with the word Nazir, so it's 29. So it's not 30.
It's not 30.
Gematria is good enough. It's not saying Gematria. What? It's going to be a machlok because he said in Nazirus is 29. We'll see the ramifications of that. Even though the Mishnah says 30, it means 29 plus.
You know the kinuin? We're talking about kinuin from Nazir?
No, the word Nazir, Yazir, Hizir, Nezer, Nazir, Lahazir, all of the show over there in Parsha and Parsha Snasa, where it says about him as Nazir, count up all the times, and you'll see 29.
And when it says 30, it means 30 minus 1.
When the 30th day, we'll see that Gemara's going to talk about that. The 30th day is going to be where he brings his karbanos, like the day after. We'll see what the Gemara is going to say. Just to point out that the word Nezer Rosh or something, the portion point out that one of them is the crown. The word Nazir means to separate.
Oh, and
one of them is a Nezer Elokim al Rosho. That's the crown. That's not counted. It is interesting because then you'd have 30. I didn't count it, but we could count it. One time I was by Tish, and the Rebbe said a gematria, and he saw somebody calculating. He said, I did it already. So, but we could count it. Probably more wants us to count that. It says there are 29, and the Rishonim said there's really 30, but the Nezer doesn't count because it means a crown. One time means a crown, 29 times it means separate.
So it's not just the letters, it has to mean
right, it has to mean separated. So Machlokes, what do you learn out the 30 days from? Either it's a gematria of Yihiyeh, or it's the 29 times that it says in the Torah, the Lashon of Nazir. The Rav Masna Nami Nelef Minazir in Israel. Why does Rav Masna not agree to that? I'll show you that it's not for the number, because some of them are used for drushes, like we had already. Over there we said last yain mitzvah. We said there's a drush over there. We had to learn out that he's not allowed to even drink wine of a mitzvah. Over there we said the husband kiddush. Kiddush is not enough of a mitzvah that needs wine. But if someone made a shvuah to drink wine, that's a mitzvah. And here the pasuk comes to say that the Nazirus overrides that mitzvah. So you need to. So that one is used already. Even though the one before said is from the word yayin, it wasn't from the word yazir. Here the Gemara is taking it. You need the word yazir for that also. And also another one. We didn't learn this yet, but it says here if someone made himself a Nazir, then while he's a Nazir, he said again I'm a Nazir, so he gets 2 Nazirs. So there's another drush that you need 2 of them at least for other purposes. So you're only going to get down to 27, 20 if you have 29.
Even if it's used for drusha, you can't use it as a count.
That's what he means to say, right? And now the other Madam is going to take Lev Yaakov's point and say, who says even though it's used for a drusha, maybe you could use it for a count, and that's what he's going to say. The Gemara answers, Ahmed Beis, the Gemara replies, Rapada says, that's not a problem. Rapada Amalacha, left the Chadmin on the law of the drusha, is there not one left? It means if you took down 2, even if you take down 28, even if there's something extra over there, there's going to be something coming for a different drusha to tell you to count. And that's Megala, that even though all those used for a drusha, you're allowed to use it for a count also. This is this famous thing that the Gemara usually, it doesn't use these Lashonas, but the Gemara usually calls it, if you dash in the one, the Gufe. When you make it drusha and you count up Pasukos, those things, so you use the one that was used as the first, has to say at least one time. So is that also usable? See, also it could be that once you have an extra one, then you can count the ones that were necessary. You're allowed to use them also, even though it's necessary. But if you have one extra one, then it's telling you to use it for a count and also include the one that was the gufe. I think it's similar to what the Gemara says in other places with different terminology. But anyway, that seems to be the
question is, are you gonna have a drush for everything and not have?
Is there not one without a drasha? There's going to be at least one without a drasha. Even if you get 28 drashas.
One with it.
And since that one extra one is going to be used for account, so that's Megaleh that reveals that all of them should be counted also. So that's machlokes. What's the source to learn out 30 days? Either from Yiyah Gematria or from the 29 times that it says and Lashon of Nazirus.
And the one that says Vayihi.
Yihiyah.
Yihiyah. The one that says Yihiyah would say that he's a Nazir on the 30th day and he brings the korban on the 31st.
That's what it sounds like. That he's a Nazir for 30 full days. But we'll see. The Gemara is going to be down. Now the Gemara is going to get into that subject.
Okay.
So here the Gemara goes. Tonight. So we have machlokes. Is the source from Yiyah or is the source from that it says 29 times Nazir? Tanan, in our Mishnah, Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom. So Rav Masna is good because he is Gematria 30, but it's not Gematria, but it's not. It says 29 times only. Bishlam Rav Masna Nicha that Nazir says 30 days because of the Gematria. Ela Bar Pada Kasha because according to him it should be 29 days. He says as many times it says in the Torah, it says 29. Amal Bar Pada I Vidika Yom plus in the Megalech maybe Karbanosov Mishamachi Tana Shloshim. The 30th day is the day that he takes the haircut and he brings the korbanos. Means he's the Nazir for 29 days, and then on the 30th day he does the Tara process with bringing the korbanos and cutting his hair. That's why he says 30.
So 30 means the whole process.
The whole process means 29 days of the Isser of cutting his hair and wine and everything, and the 30th day is the day that he does the Tara. So that's why we say the whole process is 30 days, 29 plus 1.
So he doesn't mind the Mishnah.
Right, he's okay with the Mishnah.
Oh, that might be good for the drush of 29 days, the 29 zechiras of how you can break up Nazir. So 29 plus 1. So it might.
That's what he's doing. That's what.
Is this a raya for that?
Not a raya. It's a teretz. Yes, the kasha. Let's put the kasha over here. There's a Mishnah that says Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom. That sounds like 30. My Masna is good. My father says 29. The answer is my father says that I mean 29 plus 1 because the 30th day is going to be the day that he takes the haircut and brings the korbanos.
Mixes out kula.
So the Gemara is going to say that at the end of the tape, at the end of the page. So far, it doesn't say that. So far, it says that he does 29 full days, and then on the next day he does his Tara process. But the Gemara is going to bring it. There's another Mishnah. Misha Amar Hareini Nazir. There's a Mishnah that says that someone that accepts upon himself to be a Nazir, he cut his hair on the 31st day. So that doesn't sound like Bar Pada. Sounds like Rav Masna. Rav Masna says that the Nazir is 30 days. Bar Pada said it means 29 plus 1. Here it says no. Here it says 30 plus 1. That the Nazir is 30 days, and then he does the process on the 31st. Because according to him it's 29 plus 1. Continue reading the Mishnah. What does it say over there? In Gilach, I'll try to highlight that also. It says in Gilach, that's the Mishnah. It says that he should, we tell him to do the haircut process on the 31st and the korbanos on the 31st. But if he did it on the 30th, he's also Yotze. So why look at me? Look at you. You're telling me that I'm no good because it should have been the 31st. How come according to you he's also on the 30th? According to you, should not be Yotze because you have to have 30 days and then the 31st. Ella say from a side lay, Resha. So my father says the safe is a right to me. They really the Nazir is only 29 days. So how come you tell him lachatchila to wait till the 31st? Resha nase ka'omer shleimen.
When the Nazir makes his neder, he says shleimen.
It means in a case where he said that. If he said,
yeah, right.
When he said I'm a Nazir shalem or something like that,
Right.
So then it's 30
full
days.
30 full
Why
days.
should a Nazir shalem be 30 full days? Why should it be? Why should that be? If a Nazir is only 29, so when he says I'm a full Nazir, why should that mean 30 days? I didn't have the pshat. I didn't notice this. Oh, I thought I noticed it, but I didn't get it. Anybody pshat over here?
This is another kasha on Rav Pada.
This is Bar Pada's answer. The kasha on Bar Pada, the kasha was a kasha on Bar Pada. Then how come he reacts? He attacked
Said,
him.
look.
Right, the safe is right to me.
Yeah.
So now he has to answer what is the ratio. So when do you why the safe is like him? Good, but he has to explain the ratio also. It says lachatchilu the 31st. Why?
30.
This is supposed to answer the kasha.
Resha
So take a look at Rashi. Let's Rashi. Elasevim Messiah the Bar Pada the commercial Gilach is Rishayna. L'yom shloishim shaperdam. Bereisha the kani shloishim be'echad. So nasa kaimer shleimin. Aval hecha the parish harini nazir shleishim yoim chaser echad galeich lechatchil legam shleishim. Likin naziris ein ela shleishim chaser achas.
I don't see why should he do 30 days?
He's saying that what?
If he said shloshim yom, he didn't say the word. If he said shloshim, in the case where he said shloshim, so shloshim shleima, he doesn't have the nasa kama shloshim yom shleima, shloshim yom shleima. He said the fair is 30 days. What did he say? What did he say? His Taisus is usually explanatory over here in this Masechta. He's not like a Taisus that we're used to. He's not Tosafot. He's not additions. He's like the Pshat usually. So what do we say? Is there a Taisus over here? I didn't.
It says Amar Lecha Barpada.
Hey, let's say from Miguel Yom Shloshim. Let's say from Messiah. The Reish that Ka'amar Lechatchila K'Shem Omar Shloshim Yom Shleim Mios Nazir. If he said the fair is 30 days, okay. If he said 30 days, that's Pshat Rashi also. If he said 30 days. Okay, I don't know if he said.
If he said 30 days, then it's 30 days. That's the ratio, but the Iker is 20.
But even in that case, the Yevanis don't say if he did it on the 30th day.
Where is Kavanas on 30th day?
Okay, I'm a little bit confused about this. Let's see what anything in the rush. Nasa Kalama Shleiman. Nasa Kloma, I forgot the Stam Nazir is Chaptes Yom. Gazu Chacham Ben Shama Hareni Nazir Stam, Ben Shama Hareni Nazir Chaptes Yom, Shea Nazir Shloshim Yom, Lefi, Sheminik Hazeh Hu Bevnei Adam, Yachash Stam Nazir, Hu Sosel Laminian Lamed Vakhaser Yom Echad, and know the Nazir is Mefarshi Lamed Yom, Shumin is Shalom. I don't know what the answer is exactly, but he's saying that he didn't have to say the word Shloshim Yom. But if he says Stam Hareni Nazir, it's like with Rabbanan. Since people usually, when they say Naziris, they mean 30 days for some reason. I'm not sure why. I didn't get these words exactly. So, I didn't get it exactly. I have to try to come back tomorrow. What is Nasa Koma Shleiman? That even though the din of a Nazir of the Torah is only 29 days, but Rabbanan he has to do 30 because some reason, some gzera that he should be 30 days. This still needs explanation. Try to come back tomorrow. So Rapada is good. That what does it say? The Mishnah says that he should do the Torah process on the 31st. But the if he did it on the 30th, he's Yosei, because Rapada says that the evidence makes sense because the din with the rice is only to be 29 days. And for some reason with Rabbanan, he should do the full 30 days. If he didn't, with the evidence, okay.
Like his Gematria.
No, okay. He doesn't know the Gematria.
Rapada was the one who was
Rav Masna was the one who said the Gematria. The kasha is the other way. Although Rav Masna kasha Seifa, that was the kasha that Rapada asked against Rav Masna. How come the Yevad is also with 29 days?
Right.
If the zeros with the rice is 30 days, it should be 30 full days. Because Saba makes us Yom Kikulo. That's wants to be. This is what
because that day was like a whole day.
Once it started, it's considered a full day. That's what the halacha by Avelos that shiva is over in the morning because makes Yom Kikulo. So that's why we tell him to wait the whole day and do the entire process on the next day. But yeah, but if he did it on the 30th day, it's Yotzei because he started the 30th day.
He started the 30th day and he brings the korban on the 30th day.
So where's the end?
So we're in the middle still, but we'll stop over here. We'll stop by Tanam. We're continuing still in the Shakla V'Tari between Barpada and Masna.
The Miktas, Kesever Miktas Hayom. Start of a day is like a whole.
Want to get another next year?
Okay, Yesharim, everybody. Shabbat Tov. Thank you.
Thanks everybody for saving me.